opposite side.
You have to have some fabulous quickness in order to continuously recover. This is Veja Hamilton, youngest player in Women's Division I.
Only 17 years old. She came to campus and she was still 16.
That ball went off the foot of Hamilton. It appeared the officials see it the other way.
And this is about as boisterous of fans as you'll see in the Big 12. They get into it. Good call right off the foot of Texas Tech. The officials right on it. We have 3 officials today, where yesterday's game with Baylor ended with just 2, but TCU and their youth came through there. They weren't aware of the shot clock.
I had a 1 in 4 shot of getting the right shoe, and I was wrong. I'm glad the officials got it right. It was Hyde's foot, but they ended up getting the shot clock violation anyway, so Hyde inbounds it, and it is Texas Tech ball. This is Smalls. Monique Smalls leads the Big 12 in assist-to-turnover ratio.
She has the longest consecutive starting streak in the country. She has been the point guard for this program for 4 years.
Casey Morris drills a long wing left 3 for the 3-point advantage. Back on the other end, count the basket plus the foul as Zayna Medley scores for the first time and has a chance to get an old-fashioned 3-point play.
And that's going to make Jeff Mittie very happy. We talked yesterday about, he said we asked Zayna Medley to do a lot. She is a tremendous 3-point shooter, but we would like to see her be more aggressive early in the shot clock. She has passed up some shots early and then is forced to take some tough shots late. And so he has to be pleased that she attacked the rim and got a score early in the shot clock for TCU.
73% free throw shooter is long and settles for just 2. It's a 1-point game, 3 minutes in. This is Brown for the long 3 and drills it. So the Lady Raiders come out and say, we can take threes too.
A 42% 3-point shooter is Chynna Brown, and she has been playing extremely well in Big 12 play over the last 7 games. There's all their games in Big 12 play. The on-ball screen, the quick skip pass, you tilt the zone one way and then reverse it quickly.
And there's the takeaway. Baker ended up with it. Fended off a couple of horned frogs as she got it to her teammate. Now Brown thinking about it from the right-hand side. This is Morris. Calmly brings it out. That one's knocked away. Cole collapsing on Baker. And the foul.
You know, there are a lot of different things you can do against a zone, and you always want to make the next defender try to guard you, make them shift. And they've been screening the top of the zone so far to draw the second defender over to open up a shooter on the opposite side. Or there's another way. You go to one block and kick it to the opposite side against the zone. It makes that zone shift so quickly.
Interception, Casey Morris. 3-on-2 break. Brown finishes.
And that's a couple of seniors who know each other very well, very patient. They love to push in transition.
Hamilton finds Medley in the corner, launching that 3. Several get a hand on it, ends up in Hamilton for the easy bank in.
Nice job by Hamilton right there. There were a lot of players blocking out for Texas Tech, but she found herself wide open for that rebound.
Got the greatest name.
Among their starters in the league. First names, that is. They have a Zayna, Veja, Kami, Latricia. Could almost make a song out of their starting lineup. There's a ball that deflects off of several hands. It's out of bounds, and it'll be TCU ball. Timeout on the floor here in Lubbock. Tech with a 10-6 advantage over TCU.
upgrading your ride is among your New Year's resolutions, at Frontier and Spirit, you'll find every Ram truck drastically reduced, like over $11,000 off Ram 1500 Hemi Lone Star Crew Cabs. Don't miss the savings at Frontier Dodge and Spirit.
You've got big ideas and even bigger plans. You definitely want more than just a job. We can relate. No matter where you are in your work or personal life, there's a place for you at Convergys. We offer rewarding career opportunities, competitive wages, and tuition reimbursement. At Convergys, you can work for a leader and make a difference with your talents. Check out our current jobs or apply online at convergys.com/careers.
If upgrading your ride is among your New Year's resolutions, you'll find every new Ram truck drastically reduced at Frontier and Spirit. Plus, 0% financing is available on most vehicles. Don't miss the savings at Frontier on Spur 327 and Spirit on Avenue Q.
Big 12 Women's Basketball, Saturday at 1:30 on Fox Sports Southwest.
10-6, Tech with the early lead over TCU. And how motivated are the Texas Tech seniors by missing out of the NCAA tournament a year ago? Very.
I think we've been through the best and the worst. I think we've been through the NCAA tournament, and we've not gotten there and had to play in the NIT. And we know what it takes to get there, and we know what we have to do good this year.
You know, you want to be in the NCAA tournament, and that's what we were shooting for last year, and that's what we're shooting for this year, you know, as being seniors and being, you know, playing that leader role and just, I guess, just staying positive, just doing all the right things all the right ways.
Everybody wants playing the big show, the NCAA, and for a senior year, all the seniors want to end there. We want to go to the end. We want to finish on a good note and leave a mark.
We talked to the seniors at Media Day this year, and I had a chance to conduct that interview, and you could just feel how hungry each of those seniors is to have a great year this year. And I think that's why you're seeing the change for Texas Tech. Here they are picking up in a 2-2-1 full court. And if you want to join the discussion and talk about the improvement of Texas Tech this year, hashtag Big 12 College Hoops. Or if you're a TCU fan or just a fan of Big 12 Women's Hoops, we invite you to join the conversation on each of our Fox broadcasts. And we'll air the best of your tweets. Keep it kind and don't say bad things about the officials, and you got a better chance of getting on the air.
Here's Veja Hamilton missing in the lane, and it's out of bounds off TCU. A second chance opportunity thanks to Veja's offensive rebound, but they couldn't convert.
You know, and Texas Tech lost so many close games last year. It was just heartbreaking down the stretch, and they've improved their free throw shooting. They're making better basketball decisions. And they've got some good wins here early. They've beaten Kansas here at home. They beat Oklahoma State and West Virginia on the road. And so that's why, it's a big part of why they're 5-2 to start things off.
It's a powerful move by Kelsey Baker off the perimeter feed, and she lays it in. So Baker now with 4.
And she's been in double figures 10 times this year, but not in the last 4 games. So they're looking to pound it into her in that zone.
Hamilton again comes up short from the baseline as Chynna Brown with the rebound. Smalls, contact, offensive foul. Nice defensive play by Kami Cole.
That's not easy. Kami Cole, only a freshman out of Brock, Texas. And that's one of those situations where she was in defending position. She wasn't set, but she was in defending position. And that's where the foul is picked up a little lower of the shoulder by Smalls. That's a tough call to make either way. It can go either way. But Cole was backpedaling, and she was in good guarding position.
That was the second foul called on Smalls. She is replaced on the floor by Amber Battle. And she defends Medley. Feeds Lovings. Along with the turnaround, and here's Chynna Brown. Rebounds and starts up.
So Chynna Brown brings the ball up and gets it over to Amber Battle. But they've got a lot of very capable guards that can all handle the basketball. You want to have your floor general out there, but they've got a lot of experience out on the court still, this Texas Tech.
That was a traveling violation on Kelsey Baker. She went up and down before making that pass. And the Lady Raiders will make another substitution.
Here for the Horned Frogs, number 33, Danielle Bro.
Chantel Nobles will come in.
Boy, what an experience Nobles has had this year. She picked up Guillain-Barré. It's an autoimmune disease back in October. Lost 20 pounds and missed the first 6 games of the year. And she has slowly been getting back, but they would not have won against West Virginia had it not been for her. She hit the big basket to put the game into overtime.
The pass hit another foot, and the turnover ends up in the hands of Hyde. Now Battle finds Morris. Won't stay down as TCU's Lovings grabs it.
So what does TCU need to do? They need to be patient, get the ball in the hands of Medley. She's so good at creating, and Jeff Mitty said we ask her to do a lot. She creates for her teammates. She leads all freshmen in assists, and she leads all freshmen in scoring, so she can do it all.
Free ball wouldn't go. Chynna Brown, crossover dribble drive, nice feet underneath the rejection, out of bounds by Cole.
Boy, it's a good pass ahead to Hyde, but Hyde realized she was right underneath the basket as she caught the ball, trying to push ahead. But look, she realizes it doesn't go right up and just has to take that dribble over, gives TCU the time to recover. Boy, and Lovings is an aggressive shot blocker. She's had a few that were close to fouls.
And now off of the inbounds, the deflected ball into the front court for TCU off the interception. And the long three, got it down. That was Danielle Bro, who delivers from downtown to make it a 3-point game.
Danielle Bro started her career at the University of Kansas. She transferred after 1 semester with the Jayhawks, so she wasn't eligible until the semester break. She's averaging just under 6 points per game for TCU.
Nice interior pass, but overshooting the mark is Nobles as it goes out of bounds off TCU. With a break of the action, under 12 minutes to play in this first half, the young TCU Horned Frogs hanging tough with Tech.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for motorcycle insurance. Geico. See how much you could save.
The temper's overflowing, and there's a fight.
Are you kidding me? Am I dreaming right now?
It's going to be a drag race to the start-finish line.
We've won it, we've won it, we've won it.
I'm a Daytona 500 champion. I can't believe it.
Great seats can still be yours. Call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
The future of features is now.
Let's go.
This is something else.
FX Movie Channel in HD. Presented with limited commercial interruptions. FXM, available in your area. Go to getfxm.com.
Closely played first half. The young Horned Frogs are staying with the much more experienced Lady Raiders, and we've even seen Texas Tech launch a couple of early threes, which is more TCU game.
And let's take a look at the free throws that have been so important. This will come out later in the game, but I think fans really would be interested in this. This season, they're 5-2. They've been shooting almost 73% free throws. Last year, at this time, they were 2-5, only shooting 59%. And when you look at those close games that they've had this year, they've been burying the free throws. And that's a big part of leadership in this team coming together. And we have a tweet about leadership. I love seeing leadership on Lady Raiders team. I want to see them get that W. Shelby Fresca 24. Thank you for joining the conversation. And I think people that have followed the Lady Raiders over the year, knowing that this is the best start in Big 12 play in the Christy Curry era, are excited about what they've been able to do early. But everybody around here and everybody in the Big 12 knows a good start doesn't guarantee a good finish. You have to play hard all through conference play.
Shelby gets her wish. Texas Tech will finish the day in second by itself in the Big 12. This is Ventress. And the feed underneath is knocked out of bounds after the initial catch.
So
Ashley
good.
Colbert on the floor for the first time for the Horned Frogs, Brenda.
Good hustle defensively. Texas Tech has held all of their opponents at home to under 59 points. Their defense is a big part of why they're 5-2 at this point in the season.
The design was there on the baseline out of bounds play as Delissa Gross cut to the hoop, but the pass was knocked off of her and out of bounds. And against pressure, Texas Tech broke it initially. Bokenkamp in the lineup was there, and they lose it out of bounds, so back-to-back turnovers.
And Jackie Patterson, the junior transfer, just a little bit too much in a hurry that time. We don't have Monique Smalls in the game, out with 2 fouls for Texas Tech, so their primary point guard not here. She's checking back in with the 2 fouls right now, probably because of those rushes and the turnovers.
Hamilton's no-look pass underneath off the hands of Gross and out of bounds to the Lady Raiders.
So Smalls back into the game to handle the point guard responsibilities. Christy Curry relying on her senior to make good decisions, not committing another foul. They've got to find a way to score against this zone. I haven't seen much penetrating passes or penetration with the dribble. They go the high post there, but you need to continue to attack and not settle for just reversing the basketball.
Smalls finds Brown, back to Smalls. Monique off the dribble, pushes that pass to Bokenkamp, almost runs out of room. And now Patterson from up top as Hamilton tries to save the rebound along the baseline. Great hustle underneath by Nobles, and a tie-up. The possession arrow belongs to the Lady Raiders.
So good hustle. Every other Lady Raider was running down the court in defensive transition, but Noble stuck her nose in there. 3 Horned Frogs around, and she was able to tie it up and save the possession.
And Zaina Medley returns to the lineup. She had quite a breather there in the first half. Off the baseline out of bounds, wide open. Brown for 3. Rebound kept alive by Texas Tech, but Medley ends up with it. Now Ventress. Ventress, key, line, lane, and put it in.
That's a big shot for TCU. She was the leading scorer last year, and she was early in this season, but she struggled a bit in Big 12 play. Jeff Mitty would like to see her be more aggressive.
Patterson strong to the basket. That's rejected underneath.
Another great blocked shot by Lovings,
who runs the floor, gets rewarded with the pass, but can't finish off the play. Here comes Smalls. Initial 3-on-2 break, but TCU recovers. Smalls initially used the screen from Nobles and then throws it away. Here comes Medley. Gathers it in, lingers above the arc, and she was thinking about it.
She certainly was.
And then overshoots Lovings out of bounds for the turnover.
Natalie Ventress, the 5'10 sophomore out of Fort Worth, put the ball on the floor, used the screen, and drove aggressively into the lane. Again, a big shot for them and a big shot block on the other end by Loving. So TCU doing what they've been doing all year. As you see, Loving on her rankings this season in Big 12 play, she's at the top of the rebound. She's at the top of the block shots.
Casey Morris way off the mark on that 3-ball attempt and then out of bounds off the Lady Raiders. In, I guess, just about every other conference in the country, Lovings would be the clear-cut shot block leader, but not the Big 12.
Yeah, not when Brittany Griner's around, who broke the all-time NCAA record for block shots in yesterday's game against Oklahoma.
But the fact that she has the same per-game average as Griner's just incredible. As the downtown 3 is put down by Ventress, her 25th tray of the season.
Well, again, important for Ventress. She got that first shot driving into the lane, then she has the confidence to hit the 3. She had double-figure scoring in 9 of her first 10 games, but she's only been in double figures once in the last 7 games. TCU needs her to score.
In the middle of that zone. Hyde grabbed the ball and was fouled, or was it a travel? There were two different calls. The officials convene, and they'll call the foul. TCU on the 8-0 run to grab the 2-point lead here on the road with 8.5 to go in this first half. So you can kind of sense that TCU is growing as the Big 12 season is progressing.
Well, that's what Jeff Mittie talked to us about, the fact that you have to get better when you play in the Big 12. You're pushed every night. You have to get better to survive.
Hyde's pass for Brown, a hot potato out of bounds for the turnover.
And that is not a veteran move. Just too quickly, just hot potato is right, trying to get it out of her hands, threw it at the feet of her teammate, did Christine Hyde.
So Zayna Medley brings it front court for the Horned Frogs, who have the ball and the lead. Off the dribble drive, Banker is short, and here comes Morris.
Good help defense by Texas Tech to obstruct that shot.
Hyde offensive rebound. Look out, a lot of contact underneath, and they'll call the tie-up, and that's TCU's possession.
Well, she comes down with the rebound, and TCU grabs it. Nothing sinister there. Hyde tried to just rip it away, and Hamilton had her hands on the basketball, so jump ball.
She didn't shoot, she didn't pass, so TCU collapsed around her and got the tie-up. Here's Zayna Medley, fabulous freshman out of Springfield, Illinois.
So Texas Tech shifts to a zone look here, a little change, and they get the turnover.
The poke away, and Hyde in transition lays it in.
The leader in steals in the Big 12 Conference, Texas Tech, they switch up their defense and they force a turnover, and it ends up in a point at the other basket at the other end.
Texas Tech had gone 6 minutes without a point before that steal and transition bucket. This is Cole. After the ball fake from three land, settles for the mid-range as TCU retakes the lead.
She is such a competitor. Here's a look at the numbers. Steals in a game and turnover margin. So when you can generate that many extra opportunities, you're giving yourself a better chance to win. That's another reason Texas Tech has had good success this year.
Ventress gets the deflected rebound. And now Zayna Medley with the basketball. Ball deflected by Smalls, another Texas Tech steal. Brown, 2-on-1 with Hyde, who finishes again.
When you can't score against the zone, you want to try to score in transition before that zone ever gets set up. And that's how Texas Tech has got back some energy and some momentum, is the scoring in transition.
We are tied at 16 with 6:21 remaining here in the first half of play. One of 5 steals for the Lady Raiders in the first half, and they pay it off as Hyde in transition for the second straight time.
The PWC SMU Athletic Forum presents the 23rd Annual Doak Walker Award Presentation Banquet. Get your tickets now to honor Wisconsin's Monty Ball and NFL Hall of Famer Jim Brown from Syracuse. Don't miss this tribute to Doak Walker, the SMU 3-time All-American tailback who went on to win 2 NFL championships, putting him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. For tickets, log on or call 214-768-4314.
The Alamo Dome has showcased world-class athleticism in a variety of sporting events. But something big has been missing until now. Major League Baseball is coming to the Alamo Dome for the first time ever. It's the Big League Weekend. The American League Texas Rangers will battle the National League San Diego Padres March 29th and 30th at the Alamo Dome. Be a part of history. Get your tickets now at BigLeagueWeekend.com.
The future of features is now.
Ready?
Ready. Can you believe this?
FX Movie Channel in HD, presented with limited commercial interruptions.
This ain't reality TV!
FXM, available in your area. Go to getfxm.com.
Texas Christian University, TCU with the 18-16 early lead. A chance at a three-point play when play resumes. Bob Licht and Brenda Van Lingen with you here on Fox on this afternoon telecast. And Texas Tech may be a little bit surprised by what they've seen from TCU, struggling a little bit with their zone.
Well, they expected to see the zone, Texas Tech, but they haven't been able to get inside of it. They've been able to score inside. What they may be most surprised about as far as what TCU is doing is TCU is really attacking them. And Texas Tech has been good defensively all year long, being physical, keeping people out of the lane, and TCU has attacked. And so that's what happened on this last play. Watch, Chynna Brown actually bumps Ventress, and the under official called the charge because I think Ventress did commit the offensive foul against Baker under the basket, but before that, she was fouled by Chynna Brown. So another example of how aggressive TCU is being with the basketball. And when I spoke to Jeff Mitty yesterday about this game, he said, you know, the thing that we've struggled with in Big 12 play is how strong all of the teams are 1 through 5, how physical they are, how strong they are 1 through 5. And we can't let the Texas Tech pressure bother us. We have to attack them. And so you've seen that mentality from TCU coming out, being more aggressive with the basketball.
Ventress, the sophomore out of Fort Worth, cannot complete the three-point play. Comes up short on the free throw. And Christine Hyde with the rebound. So TCU with the 2-point advantage as we near the 6-minute mark of the first half. TCU in search of its first Big 12 conference victory. That is a kick ball. It'll be out of bounds on the far sideline for Texas Tech.
TCU has been in games. You see, they lost all 4 of these, but within the last 2 minutes of play, they either led by 4 or 1, or they trailed by just a couple against West Virginia and Kansas State, and they ended up losing those ball games. So they've been in the game. So it's not surprising that TCU is battling, and in this game, they just haven't been able to finish at the end to pick up their first win. So expect them to compete throughout.
After Chynna Brown created for the bucket to tie the game, Zayna Medley with her first tray and breaks the tie for the 21-18 lead. How good is Medley from outside? That's her 50th made 3 of the season.
She is a spectacular three-point shooter and can get that shot up off screens or create it on her own, which is what she did that time as she dribbled down the court.
Medley has more made 3s than Texas Tech as a team. There's Lovings with the basketball again, bringing it up court for Medley. Zayna pitches out.
You can see their strength already. 5 times this year, TCU has had 10 or more three-pointers.
As the Lady Raiders extend that defense all the way near the center circle, and the foul committed as Whitney Williams continued the dribble.
You know, we've been talking about Texas Tech making free throws. Natalie Ventress, when she went to the line earlier and missed that free throw, that's her first miss in conference action. So you've got some good free throw shooters on the court, and it might come down to it as this game is pretty physical and tightly contested right now.
And Lovings had another block. That's her 5th of the half.
That's remarkable.
Lovings, pitch out to Williams.
Williams started her career at Iowa State, so very familiar with Texas Tech.
Medley having trouble, and Monique Smalls picked it free. Then it came loose again, and possession never changed. Shot clock violation. And the officials have to take care of a little sideline business after the scramble.
What was Lovings doing? She is right in the middle of 4 or 5 Texas Tech players, and by their bench. Okay, so she is hustling for the basketball, and a little scrap on the floor, and it looks like maybe there's a little talking going on, but Lovings, that's where you want to step away because you are in front of the Texas Tech bench. Good hustle. Oh, maybe a little swing there by Baker. She took some offense.
And I think Christy Curry may have been trying to negotiate a timeout for possession. It really didn't matter because they ended up getting it on the possession arrow anyway.
Right, it was good hustle. It was a shot clock violation, but the officials are going to go back and take a look at it. While they were on the floor, Kelsey Baker swung her arm, and that's what caused Lovings and Baker to start jawing at each other, and then they had to get Lovings out of there.
Well, she extended that elbow when they were on the floor for the scramble, so the officials now reviewing with TCU up by 3 on the road here in Lubbock. Jeff Mitty's squad coming in with a 6-game losing streak, an 0-5 road record, and an 0-6 Big 12 record overall. The officials continue to review the ball initially, not only because of the scramble, but it ended up in the corner in front of the Texas Tech bench. So with 4:29 remaining in this first half, Texas Tech at home, a 3-game winning streak and a chance to have sole possession of second place in the Big 12 when the day is over. But they have to take care of business on their home floor if they want that to happen. Kelsey Baker was on the floor scrambling for the loose ball, and she had thrown the elbow, as you saw in our Fox replay. I guess the determination is whether there's going to be a penalty assessed on that elbow.
Okay, so we'll take a look at it again because we were looking at it off camera and you as viewers weren't able to see this, but this is what the ref saw. So there's a lot of things happening here. Baker first slides and Lovings jumping in. So look at Christy Curry's trying to call timeout, and while that's happening, Lovings is grabbing the basketball, and then you see Baker swing to get Lovings off, and then the two on the floor start jawing. Lovings and Baker right in each other's faces. Christy Curry didn't need the timeout because there was a shot clock violation, and now Christy Curry's upset because Lovings and Baker were getting into it. So there was a lot going on this play, and the officials trying to sort this out. I mean, it should have been a simple play because basically it was just a shot clock violation, but there were bodies flying on the floor and different things happening, so I'm hoping the officials will come and tell us what they've sorted out with this.
As they've now conferred with the respective coaches, the players are going to be permitted to come back on the floor. And Christy Curry wants an additional word. We would too. To find out exactly what the call is, it looks like there was a technical call because there's going to be a free throw. So a tech on Kelsey Baker has been assessed, and I think that was the right call based on the replay we saw.
It's a dead ball technical foul because the whistle had blown and the contact was made, so you can't commit a common foul after a whistle's been called, so it's called a dead ball technical. So that's why the free throws are shot, which again is very unfortunate because Texas Tech forced the shot clock violation. There was just no reason to have that extracurricular activity happen, and now TCU going to get the ball they're going to get the basketball. So all the way around, even though Kelsey Baker makes a good hustle play at the beginning, by losing her cool and swinging her arm, she picks up that technical.
So she picks up the technical. You lose the possession, and Ventress made one of the 2 technical free throws. It is a 4-point TCU lead, and the Horned Frogs have the ball in their front court with a full shot clock. 4.5 to play. And a violation off the inbounds, a 5-second count. So Texas Tech uses this experience to cover up the mistake. As Brenda gets the official ruling, which Brenda already conferred with all of you on and had it right on the button. Texas Tech, though, spectacular defense on the inbounds play. Didn't have to pay the ultimate price. Smalls scores on the other end to cut the deficit back to 2.
Yeah, sometimes the basketball gods will work things out.
That ball doesn't lie, does it? Closing in on the 4-minute mark here in the first half. So after the extended delay, actually really hurt TCU because they had the momentum. Maybe some of that was cut. Here is Medley for three. Bottoms it out to make it 25-20. So Medley has more threes than the entire Lady Raiders team, and she has 2 here late in the first half.
What a talent. What a talent she is. She can get that ball off so quickly.
4 total for the Horned Frogs. 3.5 remaining in the half. This is Brown. Finds Hyde. Her 3-ball won't go. Look at Brown in the middle of traffic. Perfect timing as Morris tries to deliver a 3. That is short. Loving's the rebound, and here comes Medley.
I think Texas Tech just falling in love too much with a 3-point shot against the zone. I'd like to see them attack more.
Williams misses the 3. Ventures cannot chase down the loose ball. It'll be Lady Raiders basketball when we return. 3:02 to play here in Lubbock. It's the visiting Horned Frogs up by 5.
It's big. It's big. It's big. The Big 12 is coming to Big D. It's coming to what?
Come see the finest.
And the best.
In women's college basketball.
Ooh, that's nice.
At the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championships, March 8th through 11th.
At the American Airlines Center.
In Dallas, Texas.
For tickets, log on right now to Ticketmaster.com.
Everyone dreams of Daytona. This February, your dream could come true. Win a Daytona 500 VIP experience or other great prizes. It's the Fox Sports Girls Race to Daytona. To enter, go to foxsports.com/race to Daytona and vote for your favorite Fox Sports Girls to send them to Daytona too. Your chance to win starts here. Vote, enter, win. Get ready for a thrilling season of college basketball. This is your home for the Pac-12, Conference USA, and more. College basketball all season long. We are alive!
I was 17 when I joined the KGB. When we got here, I was living in a strange house, in a strange country with a strange man. And then...
The Americans premieres Wednesday at 10, only on FX.
TCU with a 25-20 advantage late first half here in Lubbock against the veteran Texas Tech squad. And coming up at the half for you here, we're going to be looking, of course, at highlights. We're going to look at stats, and we'll have an all-access feature with Christy Curry, head coach of the Texas Tech Lady Raiders. Brenda Van Lingen, of course, will speak with both Jeff Mittie and Christy Curry. That's all coming up at halftime here on Fox. How about a Zayna Medley? It's kind of a sentence, isn't it?
She has been fantastic. 2 of 3 from 3-point range. She already has 8 points. She's so smooth with her release. As you see why she is the leading freshman scorer in Big 12 play and how much they have leaned on her as just a freshman. She's a point guard in one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference in the country. She's a freshman. She's got the scoring load. She has to direct the offense. She has got a lot on her shoulders, and she continues to perform at a high level. 8
points here in the first half for Medley. As Morris controls, the leading scorer for Texas Tech on the season. Hyde in some trouble, drives out of trouble, but misses the layup as Ventress cleans it up. Or rather, check that, Lovings cleans it up. And now Medley controls again. Takes Morris off the dribble. Hangs and fires, no. And Morris with the rebound.
But attacking Smalls. Smalls in there with the 2 fouls. A smart move by the freshman to attack her and make her defend.
Hyde finds Morris. Wide open Chynna Brown. And the 3-ball is long. The weak side rebound belongs to Hamilton.
They're 2 of 10 now from 3-point range is Texas Tech.
That's not been their game, has it?
Well, it's been, they are a 34% 3-point shooting team. They have the ability to, but like I said, I think they're falling in love with it. It's too easy against the zone.
Baker with the steal and the lay-in.
This is their game. Get out, get a steal, and score before the zone defense sets up.
And a timeout by TCU. Jeff Mittie not liking what he just saw.
Well, you got to take care of the basketball, and when they have attacked, they've been in good position, but Baker stepping out in front of Lovings, that's not a great pass across the top there. What are you going to do with it next? And that's why Jeff Mittie calls a timeout, because that's just not a good pass, kind of lazy, slow pass. And Texas Tech going to make you pay. They lead the Big 12 Conference, as we showed earlier, in steals per game, and you have to be precise with your passing.
Points off turnovers decidedly in favor of the homestanding Lady Raiders. A +10 for Texas Tech, which has 6 steals in this first half.
And it's a good thing because they're only shooting 31% from the field as Texas Tech and allowing nearly 48% from TCU. So the fact that they've got those 13 points off turnovers is a big deal for Texas Tech at this point.
Pass was intended for Bro. When it left Ventress's hands, it was knocked out of bounds. So it'll be Cole to inbound on the near sideline with 94 seconds remaining in the first half. This is Bro. Now Hamilton. Lady Raiders in the 2-3 zone. Ventress comes out to help. Bro surveys that defense, nothing underneath. 2 on the clock, got to get going. Hamilton doesn't see the clock, and it's another violation.
Boy, you have to have that awareness. You have to have that clock ticking down in your head so that you know the urgency of the situation.
And you know, Medley wasn't on the floor there. They really didn't have their true point guard, their leader, on the floor in that possession, and it kind of showed up.
Yeah, it shows her value. Just as a leader, as a point guard, getting everybody in the right position and communicating.
So Medley returns, replacing Kami Cole. Off of pressure, Baker, bounce feed underneath. Shot was blocked. Second shot was blocked. Hovering there is Lovings. And the foul committed underneath by Lovings.
Okay, Lovings, very aggressive, blocked the shot, but then she closed in. Watch afterwards, making it very difficult. She's an aggressive shot blocker, but watch here. She just, both players lean and push and then end up getting the foul called. So that's Loving's second foul.
7 block shots in the first half for Latricia Lovings. Baker controls that inbounds pass and closes the gap to 1. 45 seconds to play till half. Latricia Lovings with 7 first half block shots. He averages 3.5 per game. This is Medley, corner 3. Offensive rebound, Ventress, no. And it's tapped out of bounds, but off of Texas Tech. And so TCU will maintain possession with 25.8 seconds to play. And down underneath is Nobles, I believe. Yes, that's Nobles. She took a blow underneath the basket.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact as TCU was crashing the offensive boards. There were 3 Texas Tech players underneath, but there were bodies flying after that rebound.
Danielle Bro will trigger it inbounds. In trouble, and another 5-second count. Second of this half assessed to the Horned Frogs.
Christy Curry's calling a timeout to set up the last play, understanding that every possession so critical. She wants to make sure they get the right shot here as they play for the last shot of the half.
14 first half turnovers charged to TCU. So it's amazing, Brenda, with 14 turnovers and a half that they have the 1-point lead.
It's the 3-point shooting and how well they're shooting. As we compared the field goal percentage earlier, they're shooting almost 48% overall. They're hitting 3-pointers, TCU, but they're shooting themselves in the foot with the turnovers. Texas Tech in this game because they're scoring in transition. They're getting the steals. They're getting the easy opportunities. So both of them finding ways to score to battle it out to a near even game here in the first half.
So Texas Tech with the basketball after the TCU turnover. 3 shot clock violations and a pair of 5-second violations among those turnovers. With 15 ticks to go till halftime. This is Monique Smalls, and she's fouled by Medley. And some jeers from the home crowd here. 11.8 now showing. As Chelsea Prince comes in for the final defensive set on the TCU side. Also checking back in is Whitney Williams.
Pretty remarkable. Only 4 team fouls. Neither team made it to the bonus here in the first half with all the physical play we're seeing.
Smalls off the dribble, feeds Brown for 3. Bottom for the lead. With 1 second left, 3/4 court heave, not close. And Texas Tech, after forcing their 14th turnover of the half, convert the 3 and take the lead into the locker room. All that hard work by TCU going for naught, or rather for TCU does go for naught. And Brenda, she's going to wrap up this first half. She's got Christy Curry standing by.
All right, thank you. Christy, your team scoring a lot in transition, but still struggling against that zone. I know you wanted to try to attack the zone. What's your message offensively?
Well, we've got to do a better job the second half of keeping Smalls on the floor. I thought the first couple of fouls rattled her a little bit, and we've got to come out and be more aggressive. Ball reversal, get it to the high post. And we'll be okay the second half. I think they're a little used to it. We should learn from the first 20 minutes.
Well, your defense really rattled TCU at times. You're able to go in transition, but they answered with some three-point shooting. Any adjustments defensively?
Well, we've got to have high hands and do better on our switches.
Thank you very much.
Brenda's going to take a look at our first half highlights.
Well, Texas Tech, excuse me, has been able to score in transition off those turnovers. We heard about that from Christy Curry. They've been aggressive on the basketball. They're scoring in transition. That's been a big part of the first half of play for Texas Tech. On the other hand, opening tip for TCU. They went inside. They went to Lovings. They scored within 8 seconds off the clock, scoring inside. But then they've had some good three-point shooting. Zayna Medley, the best three-point shooting freshman in the conference, has come to play, and she has hit some big three-pointers for TCU. What a ball game we have here in the first half in Lubbock.
With a late 3 by Texas Tech, a 27-25 advantage over the visiting Horned Frogs, who are looking for their first ever Big 12 conference victory.
To win 2 NFL championships, putting him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. For tickets, log on or call 214-768-4314.
The future of features is now.
Ready?
Ready.
Can you believe this?
FX Movie Channel in HD, presented with limited commercial interruptions.
This ain't reality TV!
FXM, available in your area. Go to getfxm.com.
Hey, Stars fans. Kami and I know there's only one place to turn when we want coverage of our Dallas Stars. Whether we're watching Ralph and Ray's award-winning game coverage or getting the inside track with Stars Insider. Fox Sports Southwest has access the other guys just can't compete with. Plus, before and after every game, Stars Live gives you everything you need to be a Dallas Stars expert. And don't forget to log on to foxsportssouthwest.com for all the latest news, video, and opinions. When it comes to Stars hockey, Fox Sports Southwest has it all.
We're just about set for the start of the second half here in Lubbock. Texas Tech with a late 3 in the last possession of the first half to retake the lead over TCU, and they have the first possession to start the second half.
And that's such an important point, Bob, because this team, this Texas Tech team, we've been talking the whole game about how experienced they are. They understand that every possession is valuable, and so Christy Curry called that timeout before halftime. And they executed and hit a three-pointer to take the lead, and then they start the second half with a three-pointer from Chynna Brown.
Chynna Brown with her third 3, her game-high 13th point. So we've talked so much about TCU shooting from downtown, and they did in the first half, Brendan. They made 4 threes, but Texas Tech now has equaled their total.
They hit a couple of big ones. Texas Tech winning the rebounding battle. Those 18 points off turnovers, so important. We heard Jeff Mitty talk about that. Also the offensive rebounds that Texas Tech has been getting.
That was Kami Cole. with the lay-in off the baseline and make it a 3-point game. Yeah, 14 first-half turnovers by TCU, really the difference. There's a takeaway by Cole. He goes to Medley. Baseline right, and the three-pointer won't fall. Nice rebound by Hyde.
Great outlet pass.
And the jumper by Morris comes up short. Here's Cole around the basketball again.
Boy, that right side of the lane was open that time for Morris, but she chose to pull up for a jumper. I would have liked to have seen her attack the rim on that side. And we haven't talked a lot about Kami Cole. She's had a couple of nice plays here to start the second half, but she won 4 state titles at Brock High School. She was considered the 14th best player in the state of Texas out of high school, and she really is a nice compliment to Medley.
Medley's 3-ball won't go. Rebound chased down by Smalls. Brings it across. Uses the screen from Hyde. Now feeds Morris. Hyde double teamed. Steal by Cole. 3-on-2 break. Cole drops it off for Medley, and she had it knocked out of bounds as 2 Lady Raiders converged.
And Hyde came out of nowhere to block that shot. TCU attacking. Cole dumps it off. Medley, wow, just got that one swatted in a big way. Hyde was not going to allow anything easy.
It's the first block of the game recorded by the Lady Raiders. The other 7 belong to Latricia Lovings. 7 first-half blocks, 1 away from tying a career high. We're 2 minutes into the second half. It's a 1-possession game. This is Brown. Tried another 3. The long rebound, Zayna Medley. She does not have numbers. Smartly waits for help. This is Cole. Doubled along the baseline, and it had knocked out of bounds off of Texas Tech. It's kind of no man's land for Cole. She didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. Couldn't go to the basket and couldn't see to pass with the coverage. Still 17 to shoot. Off the baseline, out of bounds. Wide open, Hamilton can't convert. Cole around the ball again. And a new clock, which they don't need. Medley launched the 3, and the rebound Baker, and she's fouled.
Hamilton has missed a couple of point-blank shots, and maybe out of frustration commits that foul. We've seen the competitiveness of Kami Cole getting in there and getting some offensive rebounds, but Hamilton just hasn't been able to finish around the basket.
And she departs. She is replaced by Bro.
And remember, again, Hamilton, that player that's only 17 years old. When you look at the average lineup for TCU, they average about 19 years. I think maybe a little bit less than that. And Texas Tech, on the other hand, averages 21 years of age. Much more of a veteran team.
Chynna Brown, who had 22 made threes when we started play today, has 4 today.
Now, and I mentioned that they were falling in love with the three-point shot a little bit too much against the zone in the first half. But when you get into a rhythm and you're feeling confidence, that's what you want to continue to shoot. Now, you want to still try to attack. You don't want to just keep the ball on the outside. You want to attack with the dribble, attack with the pass inside to get that zone to collapse and kick back out. But Chynna Brown's really found the places within the offense or within transition to hit those threes.
Brown committed that last foul on the pass intended for Venture. Second team foul on the Lady Raiders. Medley against Chynna Brown. Nice spin into the lane, but got help defense and is knocked away. Beautiful play defensively by Nobles on the help defense. Here's Smalls. Drives right past Medley and scores.
There wasn't much room there, but she found it. She found the crease and got all the way to the rim.
8-point advantage suddenly for the Lady Raiders. Oh my. On opposite pages as Medley throws left, teammate breaks right, and another turnover.
Smalls, nobody stops her. She's able to get around, uses Baker, and Lovings as a little bit of a screen as she just goes all the way to the rim. She was saddled with that foul trouble in the first half and was out of the game at some key moments, and you can see just what a floor general she is. she runs the show for Texas Tech.
Texas Tech on an 8-2 run despite that last miss by Baker. Medley heaves it into the far corner. This is a 3-ball try that won't go, but it's knocked back to TCU. Bro tried it out of the corner.
A lot of pressure. Chynna Brown not letting Medley see, forcing her way out away from the basket. Smalls too. You can see how far TCU is catching the ball. Now this is a little tougher matchup. Yeah, Nobles got beat. She was able to get the block from behind and drew Ventress into committing the charge.
The offensive foul, that's another turnover. That's the 17th TCU turnover. They're down 8.
The tempers overflowing, and there's a fight.
Are you kidding me? Am I dreaming right now?
It's going to be a drag race to the start-finish line.
We've won it, we've won it, we've won it.
I'm Daytona 500 champion. I can't believe it.
Great seats can still be yours. Call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
The future of features is now.
That's super.
FX Movie Channel in HD. Presented with limited commercial interruptions.
So cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah!
FXM, available in your area. Go to getfxm.com.
Texas Tech leads by 8. They've been heating up from the perimeter. Chynna Brown, a big part of that. She hit that big three-pointer before halftime to give Texas Tech the lead. Then out of the half, she hit another three-pointer, and then look at the dribble penetration into the zone to set it up. She's got her feet, her hips, her shoulders squared to the basket. She's ready to shoot. She has been tremendous in Big 12 play, and she has been the spark here to start things in the second half.
Brenda, the 4 made threes ties a career high for Chynna Brown, who has averaged 18.5 points per game in her last 3 coming in, so she continues that role.
She has been great in Big 12 play, and that's what it's a little unusual for Texas Tech, because we've talked about how balanced they are. You've got 5 starters that average over 8.5 points a game, and you never know who's going to step up. But Chynna Brown has actually been the player that's become a bit of a star and stepped up. Here's that scoring. You can see 3 in double figures, Morris, Brown, and Hyde. Kelsey Baker right under 10. Monique Smalls, the point guard, 8.6. So often, if a couple players aren't shooting well for Texas Tech, somebody else steps up. And Christy Curry talks about having 3 players in double figures is what they want. 4 is icing on the cake. They talk about balance every day.
So not only do you have the great veteran leadership, but also the balance in that lineup. Smalls, skip pass to Morris. Nice. With the fake pass, and then the 3-ball attempt, no good.
I wanted that to go in just because it was such a nice ball fake. That is such a lost art in the game. Beautiful ball fake.
And then Bro with a beautiful drive that she can't finish off, but Ventress with the offensive rebound. Cole, the long 3. And the rebound belongs to Nobles. On a kick ball.
Cole's shot may have been rushed just a little bit. She is so competitive and contributes so much to this team. Jeff Mitty loves what she does on the court. But sometimes you just want something so badly that you rush things, and that looked like a little bit of a rush shot for Kami Cole on that last possession for TCU.
TCU has missed 9 of its first 10 shots and all 5 trays to start the second half. Out of the corner, Morris misses the 3. Long rebound chase down. Look at Chynna Brown winning the battle deep in her own backcourt.
You know, it was a dangerous play because when your point guard penetrates in and kicks for a long three, it gave TCU a chance to maybe score in transition, but it was the hustle by Chynna Brown that did not allow TCU to do that.
High-low game disconnected there as Baker tried to feed Nobles underneath.
Yeah, Noble. Christy Curry puts her head in her hands. You know, Nobles actually had nice inside position. There was a target there. Baker just didn't throw a very accurate pass.
Sometimes those texts arrive a little late. This is Ventress. On the floor, was working on that high post area. She gets the ball in the circle, but there's a foul call, and it's offensive.
Boy, we've seen some great defensive rotation from the second line of the Texas Tech defense, and that time Smalls was being driven on by Medley, and Nobles stepped over for the help, and the push-off happened as far as the offensive foul. But again, it was the defensive rotation that caused that.
Like Smalls may have tweaked that left ankle or leg area.
See, look at how Noble steps over. And then there was the push-off. So Noble's helping out Smalls as they know that Medley likes to penetrate and try to create.
Last foul on Kami Cole, the fourth team foul on TCU. Morris, wing left three, bottoms it out. And Texas Tech with a double-digit advantage.
And Monique Smalls doesn't get an assist for that, but she should because she set a nice on-ball screen for Morris to get freed up.
It's the largest lead of the day. This is Lovings with a turnaround, comes up short. Morris tries to force that pass underneath, and it's an offensive foul on Baker, who's trying to clear space to get to that pass.
So here's that last play. Watch as Monique Smalls sets the screen, just gets a piece, and it frees up Morris to hit that three-pointer. That's good teamwork, showing that Smalls not just a good floor general in passing.
Danielle Bro with a nice floater from the right baseline to snap the 8-0 Lady Raiders run.
And TCU hanging in. They have not won a game yet in Big 12 play, but talking to Jeff Mitty and talking to Matt Hoover, their media relations director, they go back to work every day in practice. They've got a good attitude. They work hard. They aren't hanging their heads. They know this is a tough conference, and they are battling hard, and you see it in this game today.
Ventress had the last interception and the deflection out of bounds by Texas Tech as Casey Morris gets a breather. And so Nobles coming out as Hyde returns. Patterson back on the floor for the Lady Raiders. Medley's been quiet here early in the second half. First half, he had 8. And there's the finish underneath. Colbert with the basket, the sophomore out of Fort Worth.
They've got a lot of players being in Fort Worth. They've got 5 players from Fort Worth on their roster. When you're in that Dallas Metroplex and can recruit from that area, you can get that many players from your hometown to make and actually play significant playing time in the roster. That's a very positive thing for TCU.
Just think about what it means for next year, right? With all the youth getting playing time. You can't simulate that, really. You can try in practice, but you really, it's not the same. Coming out is Monique Smalls. Bokenkamp is in for Texas Tech. Cole leaves for TCU as Veja Hamilton returns. That was a non-shooting foul, by the way, that last one. To the corner, Chynna Brown throws it away.
Great defense by Bro.
Bro does not have numbers. Doesn't matter as she doesn't get the roll. Here's Brown. Chynna Brown. 3-on-1. Chynna Brown knocks it in. 18 for Brown.
She has been the star today, no doubt, for Texas Tech.
TCU's only made 3 shots in the half. And a foul, loose ball foul after the miss. Break of the action with 11:40 still to play. Texas Tech behind the 18 points that Chynna Brown leads.
The Alamo Dome has showcased world-class athleticism in a variety of sporting events. But something big has been missing until now. Major League Baseball is coming to the Alamo Dome for the first time ever. It's the Big League Weekend. The American League Texas Rangers will battle the National League San Diego Padres March 29th and 30th at the Alamo Dome. Be a part of history. Get your tickets now at BigLeagueWeekend.com.
If upgrading your ride is among your New Year's resolutions, at Frontier and Spirit, you'll find every Ram truck drastically reduced, like over 11,000 off Ram 1500 Hemi Lone Star Crew Cabs. Don't miss the savings at Frontier Dodge and Spirit.
Introducing the all-new Suddenlink TiVo Stream. It lets you take the recorded movies and shows on your DVR and transfer them to your iPad or iPhone to enjoy anywhere. And once you're back home, you can stream your favorite shows on not just one, but multiple mobile devices, all at the same time. With Suddenlink TiVo Stream, it really is easy to watch what you want, anywhere, anytime. Sign up for Suddenlink TiVo Stream today.
If upgrading your ride is among your New Year's resolutions, you'll find every new Ram truck drastically reduced at Frontier and Spirit. Plus, 0% financing is available on most vehicles. Don't miss the savings at Frontier on Spur 327 and Spirit on Avenue Q.
Go Fox. Big 12 Women's Basketball. Saturday at 1:30 on Fox Sports Southwest.
40-31, Texas Tech with a 9-point advantage over the visiting Horned Frogs. Well, it's the race of a lifetime. Win the ultimate Daytona 500 experience. Tickets are on sale now at Daytona500.com. Well, we've talked so much about the young TCU Horned Frogs, and the future really is bright for Jeff Mitty's squad.
Well, they know they have to recruit big to play in the Big 12 Conference, and the fact that they've got 4 coming in that are McDonald's All-American honorees, and another shot blocker who 22 blocks in a game by Bradshaw, just 3 short of Brittany Griner's high school record.
He's already celebrating.
He is celebrating. Well, in talking to Christy Curry, and everybody around the Big 12 knows that you've got to be able to recruit from the Dallas Metroplex and the Houston area to have great talent on your squads, and you see that sprinkled throughout the Big 12 Conference, and it's part of what makes this conference so strong, because of the great girls basketball that is in the state of Texas and has been for a long, long time.
Bokenkamp throws up the stairs to Smalls, who returned during that timeout. Bokenkamp for 3. Rowe has been very active here in the second half. She got that last rebound. This is Hamilton. Can't connect from the baseline. Smalls has Hyde running the floor with her. Hyde follows the shot. Had it blocked. Ventress got her 8. That ties her career high. Or rather, Lovings. Beg your pardon? Patricia Lovings, the junior out of Fort Worth, has had an amazing first half.
Well, she has been an aggressive shot blocker, and she has throughout this Big 12 league play. It's just amazing how, even though they haven't won a game, how hard she's gone in and played defense. She sets the tone on the interior defensively, and she is improving her offense as well.
Medley with the scoop. She came up short but was fouled, and so Zayna Medley will head to the free throw line. And Latricia Lovings with the 7-block first half. She's actually 1 block shot away from tying the Big 12 season high. And of course, Griner's on that list.
Zayna Medley has been good all year from three-point range. She had a game earlier this year where she had 9 3-pointers in non-conference play against SMU. As I mentioned earlier, she finds a way to get those 3-pointers. She creates a lot of her own shots. She's good coming off screens. But even though people know that she is a tremendous three-point shooter, she still finds a way. Second half, Texas Tech has covered up a little bit more on her, made it a little more difficult.
The skip pass, Smalls penetrates, finds Hyde, and she drains the long two.
It's a good shot for Hyde. A good mid-range game. Let the play come to her.
10-point game, under 10 minutes to play. Rowe, long, Hyde, weak side board.
Hyde coming off that great game. She had 19 points in that overtime win against West Virginia. She was 9 of 10 from the free throw line.
Well, she shoots 80% on the year. Smalls surveys the zone. The skip pass to Hyde. Bounce deep underneath, and the shot blocked on Baker's attempt with the foul. And Lovings commits to personal.
Texas Tech continues to go inside and use the strength and the tenacity of Kelsey Baker to challenge Lovings inside. Of course, Texas Tech has Baylor coming in here for their next game, so there's pretty intense rivalry between the Lady Raiders and the Lady Bears, so you'll likely see Baker going in and challenging Brittany Griner inside as well.
That was the 7th team foul on TCU. Baker looks to make it an 11-point game, and she cannot. But the offensive rebound belongs to Hyde.
She's been all over the place. She is very active, making things happen.
16th offensive rebound for the Lady Raiders in this game. Cole pitching it back out to Bro, and she delivers the three to get it under double digits.
Bro, as I mentioned, only joined the team at semester after transferring from KU, and she had only hit 6 3-pointers coming into the game today.
There's another 3-ball try. That goes in and out. Rebounded up and in by Nobles.
Nobles does such a nice job of keeping the ball up high. Got the rebound, went up quickly with the putback.
8.5 to play. 9-point game. This way TCU launches threes. They could get back in this thing, but they have to make the best use of their late game possessions. You see they're only shooting 21% since halftime. It'll be TCU ball. As Patterson returns for the Lady Raiders, she replaces Kelsey Baker. A baseline out of bounds for Kami Cole. Now, we've seen 2 5-second counts, and we've seen 3 shot clock violations. So, an opportunity for TCU to show some growth here late in this ball game. Bro got it back to Cole, and there it is. Even though the shot doesn't go, it was online and traveling called after 2 Lady Raiders collide going for the rebound.
It's a hustle play where they're just not communicating to each other. This is when you say same team, and instead of knocking each other over. TCU benefits.
Off the baseline out of bounds, deflected out of bounds by Texas Tech.
You know, I think Christy Curry will take that kind of mistake, though. When you're hustling and you're trying to make things happen and you're flying all over trying to get the boards.
Rose secures the inbounds pass.
Now Chynna Brown is defending Medley. It's been Monique Smalls on her most of the second half.
Spin move, scoops it short. Lovings couldn't hold on to it after the rebound, and it belongs to Texas Tech.
This crowd appreciating the hustle plays.
Lovings deflects that dangerous inside pass. It's a turnover. Bro has it stripped out of her hands by Hyde. Turnovers has really been the story.
You can't come on the road and expect to get a victory if you're going to keep handing the ball to your opponent. TCU needs to take better care, and Chynna Brown continues to light it up for the Lady Raiders.
As Chynna Brown scores her 20th point of the ball game. It is a 46-35 Texas Tech advantage. Chynna Brown having a career day here. Her first career double-double, a 20-point contest, and she's done it a lot of different ways.
Used the screen extremely well there, dribbled into her shot. We've seen her hit the three-pointers. 4 3-pointers out of 8 attempts, but she also has that mid-range game. Just a great shooter.
Texas Tech looks like they're going to be number 2 in the Big 12 when day is at end. Number 1, of course, remains Baylor, the historic day for Brittany Griner in the 82-65 win over 20th-ranked Oklahoma.
She broke the all-time NCAA block shots record, just a couple of points away from the Big 12 scoring record. Texas got their first win. Iowa State on the road after being down by double digits, won by 4. And Oklahoma State, after losing at Kansas State midweek, went into Lawrence and won. Tony Young, 15 points and 15 rebounds. But let's take a look at that historic day for Brittany Griner yesterday. She was just 6 block shots away from the all-time record, and she broke the record against all of the Oklahoma players. First Nicole Griffin, then Campbell, then Aaron Ellenberg. And this one is a highlight right there. A tremendous block shot off the fingertips of Aaron Ellenberg, further solidifying Brittany Griner and her reputation and what she's been able to do defensively, being the greatest defensive presence in the game. And as you mentioned, just 3 points away from passing Andrea Riley. We thought she was going to break it yesterday and picked up her 5th foul, jumping out on an on-ball screen and just barely bumping Aaron Ellenberg, and had to go to the bench with 5 fouls before she could break the Big 12 scoring record. So she'll be coming here to Lubbock and probably break that record here this week. Here are the standings. Baylor still undefeated. Oklahoma got their loss against Texas Tech. The Lady Raiders have not played Baylor yet. When you look at Iowa State, 2 of their losses are to Baylor, so they're 5-1 other than that. So those 3 have played themselves above in a little separation, but you got Oklahoma State and Kansas State and West Virginia all right there battling night in and night out, and there have been some tremendous games here in Big 12 play.
You would like to see an asterisk on some of the numbers that you run down. I guess you could call it but Baylor under that asterisk.
Well, right, because the games with Baylor, there are a lot of lopsided games, but there's close ones other than that.
Breaking the action with 7:02 to play. Texas Tech 46, TCU 35.
What makes Big 12 women's basketball stand out makes us stand proud. Winning the last 2 national championships and the 2012 WNIT postseason title. We're the #1 conference in RPI for 5 seasons, with 83 NCAA tournament appearances since 2000 and 8 teams advancing to the Women's Final Four since 2002. That's why we stand together for Big 12 women's basketball.
It's big. It's big. It's big. The Big 12 is coming to Big D. It's coming to what?
Come see the finest.
And the best.
In women's college basketball.
Ooh, that's nice.
At the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championships.
March 8th through 11th.
At the American Airlines Center.
In Dallas, Texas.
For tickets, log on right now to Ticketmaster.com.
Everyone dreams of Daytona. This February, your dream could come true. Win a Daytona 500 VIP experience or other great prizes. It's the Fox Sports Girls Race to Daytona. To enter, go to foxsports.com/race to Daytona and vote for your favorite Fox Sports Girls to send them to Daytona too. Your chance to win starts here. Vote, enter, win.
Just over 7 minutes to play here in Lubbock. It's an 11-point advantage for the Lady Raiders of Texas Tech. Bob Licht and Brenda Van Langen with you here on Fox. And really the story of this ball game has been turnovers. More than half of Texas Tech's points have come off turnovers today.
Well, and they are #1 in the Big 12 in steals per game and #1 in turnover margin. They're very good at taking advantage, and they have today. They have forced the turnovers, and they've gotten out in transition, pushing ahead, finding easy ways to score, where at times they've struggled against the zone defense. Well, you don't have to worry about the zone defense when you're getting out in transition, sharing the basketball, getting everyone involved, as Texas Tech does so well. Their 5 starters all average over 8.5 points a game, and this is a big reason why. They get out in transition, they score. Monique Smalls taking it all the way to the rim, but when they have been in the half court against the zone, Chynna Brown has been tremendous. But you can see 25 points off of the TCU turnovers.
Well, you could play great defense, but when you're coughing it up and giving up that many points off of your failure to execute offensively, it kind of destroys your game plan. And there's a Texas Tech turnover, much to the chagrin of Christy Curry.
We just talked about that in the timeout.
So he goes, all right, game tape tomorrow. 6.5 to play. Ventress missing from the baseline. Brown tries to hide in that corner. Smalls working up top.
Well, you know, it's pretty amazing, the experience on Texas Tech's team, but throughout the conference this year was kind of unprecedented. 7 of the 10 teams returned at least 4 of their starters. So, you know, it kind of goes in cycles sometimes, and right now you've got experience all the way across the board in Big 12 play.
Cole just delivered her 6th point of the ball game. There's a block for Lovings. That should be a new career high for Latricia Lovings. I think her 9th block of this ball game.
Well, Cole, a little head and shoulder fake, gets her freed up for the mid-range jumper, and then they come back and get a good defensive possession with the block by Lovings. She is so good at not getting her body involved with the block, but reaching up high and getting the ball as it comes out of the hands. I think that's why she's such an effective shot blocker.
Great volleyball player, yes. Never played high school basketball as a senior.
Yeah, she was really more of a volleyball player her senior year, and she had some back problems, so she didn't play basketball her senior year. So in some ways, she's still evolving, and you really see that more on the offensive side.
Timeout called by TCU. Jeff Mitty gets the crew together, down 46 to 37. You know, we talked so much about Medley early in this ball game. The fabulous freshman out of Springfield, Illinois, leads all Big 12 freshmen at 13.5 points per game. She has not scored in the second half, going 0 for 5.
Good defense for Texas Tech. You know, Jeff Mitty always scheduled Big 12 teams before he was in the Big 12 conference. He was actually 4-5 versus Big 12 teams in the last 5 seasons and beat teams when they were ranked. Kansas, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State were all ranked when TCU beat them. They've been to the NCAA tournament 9 of the last 12 years and beat Texas Tech in the NCAA tournament and beat Texas A&M when they were in the Big 12 in the NCAA tournament. So Jeff Mitty has had some very successful teams at TCU.
Lovings with a nice follow underneath after the Bro miss.
We talked about, excuse me, I'm sorry, Bob.
It's just a 7-point game, Brenda.
They're right in it. You know, Jeff Mitty talked about the fact this is his youngest team he's coached in 21 years. So his program has been successful, but as he enters the Big 12 conference, he's got all these young players, and he's got to get them ready to play in a hurry. They're going to take their lumps this year, but I think he's going to be competing at a high level because he has scheduled that way over the last several years to prepare for this kind of opportunity.
Very rare to have an easy go of it when you're rebuilding. I don't care if you're in college. I don't care if you're in the pros.
TCU's had some great players, including Sandora Irvin, Emily Carter, TK LaFleur that transferred from Nebraska, Helena Sverrisdottir from Iceland. They've had some players that could have played in the Big 12 in the past.
Chynna Brown with a rare miss. Cole misses on the other end for TCU, and Morris ends up with it for the Lady Raiders with 4.5 to play.
I had to get in Helena Sverrisdottir because I learned to say her name a few years ago when I broadcast weather games, and you just, once you learn how to pronounce a tough name like that, you've got to say it.
It just rolls off the tongue. After the Chynna Brown miss, that's out of bounds to TCU. If TCU could execute and they've gotten a couple of stops, if they could execute a couple of times down the floor, Jeff Mitty's crew could make this a very interesting finish.
This is a critical time of the game. TCU has battled and hung around and hit some shots. This is a big possession to get the under 4 media timeout coming up pretty soon. And if you could get one more basket here, that would help TCU out a lot.
Loving's nice catch along the baseline. 10 to shoot. Repost for Lovings. Turns and fires it in and out, no good. Fighting for the rebound, and a nice job by Hyde to hold on to it for the Texas Tech possession.
Yeah, Bro was right there to get it. Hyde ripped it away. A missed opportunity that you see Lovings just not completely sure and confident in that offensive role. She's such a great defender.
Skip has a dangerous one that Bro nearly intercepted. Here's Brown missing from the corner, but that's a big, long rebound for Morris, and they can run clock again.
Long shots, long rebounds. Christy Curry stomping her foot on the sideline. She wanted something specifically run. This time you see the two high posts, or the two posts coming up high against the zone.
Morris misses the 3. Rebound off of Texas Tech and out of bounds. So the Horned Frogs will have possession when we return to Lubbock. Just 3:02 remaining, 7-point game.
The Tempers overflowing, and there's a fight.
Are you kidding me? Am I dreaming right now?
It's going to be a drag race to the start-finish line.
We've won it, we've won it, we've won it.
I'm Daytona 500 champion. I can't believe it.
Great seats can still be yours. Call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
The PWC SMU Athletic Forum presents the 23rd Annual Doak Walker Award Presentation Banquet. Get your tickets now to honor Wisconsin's Monty Ball and NFL Hall of Famer Jim Brown from Syracuse. Don't miss this tribute to Doak Walker, the SMU 3-time All-American tailback who went on to win 2 NFL championships, putting him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. For tickets, log on or call 214-768-4314.
Stars fans, Kami and I know there's only one place to turn when we want coverage of our Dallas Stars. Whether we're watching Ralph and Ray's award-winning game coverage or getting the inside track with Stars Insider.
Fox Sports Southwest has access the other guys just can't compete with.
Plus, before and after every game, Stars Live gives you everything you need to be a Dallas Stars expert.
And don't forget to log on to FoxSportsSouthwest.com for all the latest news, video, and opinions.
When it comes to Stars hockey, Fox Sports Southwest has it all.
Texas Tech with a 46-39 lead over TCU here late in the ball game, and we have seen TCU with various opportunities down the stretch, something that they have seen earlier this season.
They've been here before and haven't been able to finish. They were ahead by 4 against Kansas State with under a minute and lost. They lost to Oklahoma after leading under 2 minutes, and they were close against West Virginia in their second game against Kansas State and just weren't able to finish. So now here they are. They're within 7. They've played hard. They've been within striking distance. Can they learn from the lessons of their first games in Big 12 play and get a good finish? Or will the experience for Texas Tech be the answer that Jeff Mitty's squad can't overcome?
21 turnovers by TCU. They have the ball. How many times do you win a game at any level shooting 32% and missing all of your free throws. So far, those last two numbers belong to the Lady Raiders. And an offensive foul on the freshman Medley becomes their 22nd turnover of the day.
So Medley has been defended closely, and just a little forearm up on Smalls to clear some space. Smalls has done a terrific job on Medley in the second half, making it very difficult for her to catch the ball or to see anything once she gets it.
Her 9th turnover.
Wow.
Smalls for 3. Rebound fought for, grabbed underneath by Nobles, and a new clock, the most important part of that last transaction. With under 2.5 to play, Texas Tech up 7. Chynna Brown working to Morris, now Smalls, and this is Baker. Bro has it. A conversion here would be critical for TCU. Long 3 by Cole, no. And the rebound tap to Smalls. Free and clear. Morris patiently waits and lays it in.
Missed shot. Conversion on the other end for Texas Tech. They widen out that lead.
Medley almost broke the ankles there of Smalls, but misses the shot. And it belongs to the Lady Raiders late.
But what a job Monique Smalls has done defending Zayna Medley here in the second half.
Chynna Brown from downtown. A career best 5th tray of the day.
She hit that big one before halftime, gave the lift to Texas Tech going into the locker room after it had been a back-and-forth affair. And then Chynna Brown came out in a big way to start the second half and has continued. What a big scoring game for Chynna Brown.
Her career high 23rd point on that last tray. Obviously, she's our player of the game.
Well, she has been fantastic. Here it is. That was the shot right before halftime. Texas Tech was down. That gave them the lead at the half. Came out confidently in the second half. Stroked some three-pointers early in the half. Used the on-ball screen. Had that mid-range jumper. She scored in transition. Monique Smalls knows who to get the ball to. The player with the hot hand. And that's why Monique Smalls is the veteran point guard, and Chynna Brown delivering on the backside of that play.
Career high points, first career double-double, and she equals the entire TCU made threes output. We talked so much about how TCU relies on the 3. Chynna Brown kind of dismissed that, didn't she?
She did, and it was a different story early. TCU came out and was the team hitting the three-pointers, but Chynna Brown really swung that.
Under a minute to play and the foul. So 51-41 Texas Tech advantage. They're going for their 4th consecutive win. They'll improve to 11-1 in this building this season.
And then they welcome Baylor.
It'll be interesting here on Tuesday. Baylor in town, and obviously Brittany Griner going for a Big 12 scoring record.
Texas Tech has been a team that's given Baylor troubles over the years, has battled them very tough, no matter what their record has been. That's the first free throw made for Texas Tech. We were talking about how much better their free throw shooting is this season, how it's helped them to win close games. But they're actually 1 of 5 from the free throw line today, surprisingly.
Look at Hyde. Just outwork the defender for that last rebound.
Foul number 33, Danielle Brewer.
That's Christine Hyde's game. She is such a hustle player. We've seen her throughout the day just be in the right spot at the right time, has gotten a lot of rebounds, loose basketballs. We mentioned she had a big game in their last win, the overtime win over West Virginia. She had 19 points in that game.
That was her 10th rebound of this game. With 55.9 to play, there's Hyde's numbers on the day. And Hyde now has 7. Zayna Medley going behind the back, finding Bro, off the dribble drive, runs into Nobles. It'll be a blocking foul on Nobles. There'll be 2 shots coming up for Bro. Daniel Bro has been very active today, the transfer out of Kansas. Makes both free throws. She'll be in double figures for the day. That was her 9th point. TCU 5 different times this season has made 10 or more threes, but today, Brenda, half that total.
Well, again, Texas Tech with the good defense. They've held all their opponents under 59 points here at home this year, holding TCU to 42 points. Just a great defensive effort, and then turning many of those unsuccessful possessions into scores on the other end.
Foul whistled on the Lady Raiders. They're 1 away from being over the limit. 25.5 to play. Cole triggering inbounds and throws right to Hyde.
What a year, or what a start to the Big 12 year for Texas Tech. At 6-2 and being in 2nd place after missing the NCAA tournament last year and being so frustrated by that, they have come back with a lot of resolve and have played well, and they took care of business here on their home court today.
Fans on their feet here in Lubbock as the Lady Raiders claim sole possession of 2nd place in the Big 12 with the victory today, as Christy Curry's squad improves to 16-4, their 4th consecutive win.
Christy Curry with her 4 seniors in the starting lineup. Chynna Brown with a huge day with 23 points and 12 rebounds, but it was the defense that did it for Texas Tech today.
Final score 53-42, Texas Tech over TCU. Our next Big 12 Women's Hoops telecast on Fox Sports. Next Saturday, TCU travels to Austin to meet Texas. Check your local listings. For Brenda Van Langen and our entire Fox crew, Bob Lick saying so long. You've been watching Big 12 Hoops on Fox Sports. Your final 53-42, the Lady Raiders with the victory.
It's big.